In this section, we're going to be going over gameplay. This first gameplay is going to be a last chance qualifier game. So this is to qualify for the last biggest event of the year in the Madden Championship Series against part of the Madden Esports. And I'm going to be breaking down in this section first to second drives, kind of what the situation is like, what the play calling is like in those scenarios, kind of what's going through my head. So again, the biggest things on these first drives, it's a feeling out process. It's a learning process. Um, it's all about just trying to gather as much information as possible for later in the game. So again, it's not a bad idea to kind of take it slow on these first drives, but uh, the biggest thing here is to work off your base play, stay within your comfort zone on these first couple of drives, especially this first drive. Call your best plays and make them prove that they can stop your best plays. So again, don't overthink these first drives. Stay within your comfort zone. And I'll say for myself, I used to have a lot of issues with this, and I see this in other players as well because I've done a lot of coaching sessions. Is a lot of players like to constantly switch up their play calls. Go from play to play to play, different play, different play, different play, different play. Ask yourself why. Why are you doing that? Why are you switching it up? Have they proven that they can stop your best plays? What are your best plays? So these are the questions you should be asking yourself. What are your best plays? Um, can they stop the best play? And if not, why are you switching it up? So, and again, you guys are going to see this in this first drive, and this has taken me a while to get better. Again, this is something I used to not be good at earlier in my Madden career, is I would just switch it up for no reason. So again, here my best play in trip tight end and in Madden 21 is the curl flat, and it has again a deep crosser, a little halfback angle underneath. And again, this is called a base play, which is basically a money play that beats almost every single stock coverage, and as well as this little crossing route too gets over zone drops, especially on a rollout. And then on the backside here, it's really tough to defend the combination of the Y flat in the X curl because the X curl gets in between zone drops. Um, and the flat you can get a decent amount of yards off of. And then again, you have a nice little high low over the middle of the field to attack the user. So again, this is going to be my number one play, and I'm going to make this guy prove that he's going to have to show me that he can stop this play. Again, don't overthink it on this first drive. And again, he's unable to stop my best play so far. So again, what are we going to do? What we're not going to do is switch it up for no reason because he has just shown he hasn't stopped this play yet. So again, what we're going to do, we're going to run it again. Again, it seems simple, but man, I work with so many people, and this is the number one, one of the number one issues that come up is they switch up their plays for no reason. And again, I used to be that. I used to do this too. I used to just think I have to scroll through all these different plays just to get cute. No, make them prove that they can stop your best plays. Again, that's what this first drive is all about, is seeing what they like and what they don't like. And what I've learned from this first play so far is that this guy does not like curl flat. So again, we're gonna keep running it until he shows that he is capable of doing something about it. So again, here I made a minor adjustment. So again, I'm still utilizing my best route by far on this play. Again, I'm just doing it with an in route instead over the middle. And again, route combinations. Again, we talk about how to develop plays more in the route combo development course and the spacing course. But again, just a little preview to that course is look at the spacing between our main targets here. So it's gonna be really hard for him to lurk between both of these targets. And again, he has to run with B or it's a touchdown. So again, stay patient here and just dump it off underneath. Again, we're sticking to our guns. We're sticking to our best plays. Again, you should have 3 to 5 base plays. And on a first drive, I would try to stick to 2 or 3. Make them prove that they can stop it. And even one play, make them prove that they can stop that one play. Again, that's so huge. But again, play calling, the play calling gets a little bit different inside the red zone now. So now when we're inside the red zone, the areas of the field you guys are going to be looking to it. Well, you want to kind of look to attack is a lot of times the middle of the field, especially versus a higher level player. Again, you can come out and attack the sidelines, but a lot of times when you're playing these higher level players, again, kind of the psychology of the defensive player here is okay. Uh, take away the silence, take away because that's really the biggest threat as the defensive player here is going to be these flood concepts to the sideline. These short little corner routes and flats. So again, a lot of people are going to try to double flat down here. So again, you got to when you're in these situations, you got to kind of put your shoes in the defensive player. What would you do in this situation? What would majority of people do in this situation? Down in the red zone. Again, red zone play calling is a little bit different from other parts of the field. And also, I think the red zone is also a good time to kind of take a shot deep because again, a lot of people are looking again. Inside the 20 it gets so condensed, so everyone's kind of worried about the short part of the field. They're worried about those quick throws to the sideline that they forget about the deep outside fade. Maybe a seam streak down the middle, maybe a skinny post over the middle. So again, not a bad time to take a shot here. To take a shot or again attack in the middle of the field. But again, you can kind of come out and see though if they're respecting the sidelines. If not, I would look to attack the middle. And again, see here. Again, I have not really changed up. I made a little slight variation here, but again, I'm still utilizing my best route the whole way down the field. Again, I'm at the 20 here. And again, the reason why I'm calling this big play is because, again, as a defensive player, everyone's expecting you to go short here. They're expecting an underneath route, so that's why I call this over-the-top route here. And again, he's going to stop running here, so again, good defense by him. He was still had coverage deep. So, okay, and this is when I say, okay, he guarded my best play. Again, it's a little different in the red zone, but again, he was still kind of guarding deep. He's still respecting deep in the red zone, and we got to say, okay, now it's time to switch it up, He showed us something, he stopped our best play. He's defending deep in the red zone, and we say, okay, this is when we switch it up and we say, let's attack underneath now. Again, I'm going to try to sneak in a little flood concept here towards the sideline. See if he defends, see if he will defend it. But again, I know a lot of times people kind of like to double flat down here. They like to, key in on these underneath short routes, like to the running back especially. But again, on the left side here, I'm still going to be able to attack the middle of the field with this hitch and curl. And again, he does double flat. Like I said, common adjustment down here is people like to take away those quick sidelines. That's the biggest threat as the defensive player. Again, it's kind of just the psychology of the defensive player here is main threats. They're thinking sidelines, and they're thinking short in general. So again, he does double flat the sidelines here. Again, so he's shown us that he's doing what most people do down here. And that's they like to double flat the sidelines. So again, what we're gonna do here is now that we see that he's dedicating a lot of resources to that sideline. He's double flatting that sideline. This is when we're going to attack over the middle of the field now. And again, we know that, again, it's common to guard those sidelines. So again, call your best short to intermediate over the middle of the field play here down in the red zone. Again, you'll catch a lot of people really committing towards the sideline, and then this will be a prime opportunity. Kind of attack over the middle with something like a tight end post and like a slant. So again here, he is going to give up this little slant, but again we're just going to overthrow it a little bit. Again, it was a good play call though. Again, look at him. He was defending short. Again, in the red zone when it gets condensed, people like to defend short. So he's going to defend a little quick pass. That's not going to be there. But again, we kind of expected that because we know. Because when we're in defense, we're worried about the short pass down the red zone. So, again, when we're in offense, we have to know that. We kind of have to think. We have to kind of put ourselves in their shoes and think, okay, what's the common, adjustment down here? And again, it's like we said, he's going to be looking to guard short, but we're going attacking the short middle, though. And again, most people aren't looking to guard the short middle as much. And again, as you see, we have 3 routes over the middle here. Again, he has to pull back on this little hitch over the middle. Because, again, he's more worried about the silence, which is common in the red zone. So, again, this is going to open up the slant here. Again, we just kind of get a bad, under pressure inaccurate. All right, back on offense on the second drive. Again, we do go down by 4. And again, it's important to never panic. Don't just start playing out of character once you go down a little bit in the game. Again, we'll talk about that a lot in this course, but stay composed in these situations. Don't just completely alter your play calling because you go down a little bit in a game. Stick with the script, until they show that they can stop the script. So again here, back on offense. Again, we're going to go back to one of our best plays. Again, just a little different variation. Again, we're going to end up smart routing B. But again, same kind of concept where we're utilizing our best route B. And again, the only time he stopped this is when he got into the red zone. So again, I want to see if he can stop this outside of the red zone. So again, we're going to go back to this. Make him prove that he can stop our best play within the 20s. Again, he did not do that on the last drive, so. And again, here he's going to give up this little underneath option. And what we're starting to see here is that he is running a lot of match in this game. Or he's starting to go into a lot of match. So we have to take note of that for our play calling in the future. Again, at the end of every play, you should be kind of taking a post-snap picture and saying, what is this guy doing? And again, we see now that he's in match. So again, let's kind of see if that continues. So we got to be considering play designs to beat match, in our future play calls, because he has shown us that is part of his arsenal. So here on a 2nd and 2, it's still a little bit early in the game for this, but again, on these 2nd and 2s, a lot of times, again, people are kind of expecting you to go short to the sidelines. So these short down situations where it's like 2nd and 2, 3rd and 1, that's a prime opportunity to kind of take a shot here, because again, everybody, you got to think from the defender's perspective here. If you're in a 3rd and 1 situation on defense, you're like, shit, that's only a couple yards away from the first down marker. So it's kind of your first instinct to say, okay, let's guard short, since he only needs a yard or 2. And again, that's how most people are going to be thinking on defense. So this is, again, a prime opportunity to kind of take a little bit of a shot here. Again, always have a streak on the field in these situations, some sort of deeper route, especially at least one streak, because again, you can catch people in these broken coverages or just kind of overcommitting to the underneath pass because of the situation. Again, these 2nd and 2s, everyone's thinking short. Again, good opportunity to kind of pop them over the top. So again, that's what we're going to do here. We're going to have a streak on the field. And again, guess what happens? He's expecting us to go short. He's back in the match. We called a play that is capable of beating match because he's shown that's in his arsenal, while also taking into consideration the down and distance. And again, it's the 2nd 2, so we're going to take a little bit of a shot here. Again, we're going to have that streak on the field. And again, didn't work out. Again, this is a bad play here for me. I just got lucky on this play. I was kind of hoping, Henry would burn the linebacker deep, but that's just not how that worked out, and I ended up getting extremely fortunate. What I want to happen here was, since he ended up lurking on this free safety, and he left the solo side receiver on an island. And usually when these guys are on an island, you can beat these guys over the top on a fade. If they're even, they're leaving. And I do have 99 speed out there, and you man press them. So usually they beat him deep on this fade, but that's not what happened on this play. Again, back on offense here, and I'm most likely going to go back to curl flat here. Or no, I'm not going to go back. And the reason why I do not go back to curl flat here is because he's starting to show us now. Okay, he's showing his hand now. So again, on these first drives, it's all about collecting the information. It's a filling out process, seeing what they're doing. And the information I've collected so far in this game is that he's running a lot of match coverage. So this is where we can kind of start to switch it up a little bit and say, okay, you're showing us match consistently. Let's kind of bring in our match beaters. Again, we go into a lot more depth into how to beat match specifically in the route combo development course. But again, this is going to be one of my best match beaters. And so he's going to show us that he can stop one of our best match beaters because that's primarily what he's running so far. And again, this right here, he mixed it up. So again, we got to take this into account. So again, he's shown his match. and he's shown us this is basically kind of a cover three here on the left. So again, we got to take that into consideration. So now he's running a good bit of match, and he's mixing in some stock cover three as well. And again, we're gonna notice here that he only had one guy dedicated towards the sideline there. So again, we're gonna be taking notes of all of this for future reference. Seeing right here, because I'm kind of expecting him to go back to match here. He's been running match majority of the game. Besides in that last play, so I kind of expect him to go back to it in here. And this is again one of my better match beaters. And curl flat is still actually a pretty good match beater. So I really feel like I could have gone back to curl flat. I could have gone back to one of my best base plays in curl flat because he hasn't really shown he can stop it outside the 20. So I think I could have gone back to that as well. But again, once the game kind of goes on, you're starting to see like okay, what your opponent primarily likes to do. You can start to kind of go to plays that are really good versus specific coverages. So again, that's kind of what I'm doing here. Is I know that we've collected from that first drive and kind of second drive that he's what he's running a lot of. So again, we're gonna go to a play that specifically beats it, and this again is usually a really good match beater, and he does end up going back to match here. And again, it ends up guarding this route really well. So I'm gonna have to make some adjustments later in the game. But again, what we've seen so far is that he's running a lot of match coverage, and we gotta kind of get back to our best match beating plays. Also, here in a 3rd and 14, I want you guys to note 3rd and 14. What's the defense thinking? If you're a defensive player here, what are you thinking? What can you not give up here? What are you looking more? What parts of the field are you looking to defend? And again, try to think through the lens of someone else's. Put yourself in their shoes. Again, the kind of the psychology here of the defensive player usually is okay. I can't give up the first down. I gotta back my guys off a little bit, get them backed up to the first down marker. Drop my zones back. So I know that on a 3rd and 14, this is a perfect opportunity to dump it down to like a wheel route, a zig, an underneath route, just to get at least half the yards back, to make it a more manageable 4th down. Again, and I believe that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to look to attack underneath. Well, I'm definitely going to have a couple of underneath options on the field here, so I can get that yards after the catch. Because again, most people are going to be defending, push their zones back to defend the first down marker. So again, be willing to kind of take your check down in these situations. Again, exactly. So again, I'm gonna have two underneath options here, even though it's a 3rd and 14, because again, everybody in the room is thinking, he's going to the first down marker. I can't give up the first down. I can't give up the first down. And guess what happens? You give up. I'm always expecting the underneath option to be open in these situations because everyone's thinking, oh, you can't. He's going to the first down marker, and guess what's that? Guess what's open? The underneath. And again, we take the B zig here. Again, just make it a much more manageable 4th and 3. Now the situation completely changes. So now on a 4th and 3, everybody in the room on defense is kind of thinking, okay, man, he just needs a few yards. This is a point in the game where a lot of people will tend to get aggressive. So again, you want to design plays with kind of streaks on the field here, or at least a couple deep routes. Or this isn't a bad time at all to take a shot. This is a good time to take a shot because again, everybody's thinking underneath. Oh, I can't give up the sideline flat. I can't give up the running back table route, the running back wheel route. So again, in these 4th and 3 situations, I'm looking to attack deep, or I'm going to have a couple of deep options on the field. Either that, or I'm also going to have routes over the middle of the field. Kind of look to attack over the middle because everybody's thinking, oh man, I can't give up the short sidelines. So again, a lot of times in these situations, the short to intermediate middle will be open, or either that or like a deep streak, maybe a skinny post, something like that. Again, you got to put yourself, and you got to think through the perspective of the defensive player always. Again, only need a few yards. Everyone's thinking, oh man, he's gonna go short. He has to go short here, right? He just needs a few yards, and this is a perfect opportunity to get a big play. I don't know if I'm gonna get this play off, am I? But yeah, see, and this is exactly what I'm saying here. So again, I'm gonna have two streaks on the field because again, I'm kind of expecting him to get aggressive. Maybe blitz heavy, with aggressive underneath coverage. Because again, it's a 4th and 3. He doesn't want to give up those few yards. It's just you just need to get a quick uh, a quick stop here, prevent him from getting that first down, and it's over. Ball back to the offense. He just needs a few yards. So again, a lot of people will tend to get greedy here, tend to get aggressive. So again, that's why I'm going to have these streaks on the field. In case he gets aggressive, maybe he starts hook zoning his safeties. He leaves man press on the outside. And also, again, a lot of people are worried about the silence in these situations. Again, that's kind of the psychology of the defensive player here is, you got to watch for the silence. You got to watch short, specifically the silence. So, again, a lot of people are going to be looking to defend, your running back wheel, your running back flat, maybe your out routes. So, again, this is a really good time to attack over the middle and as well as over the top. And, again, usually I'm going to be looking to go over the middle or over the top here. Again, that's kind of how I design my play here, too, is I have options to go deep and two options over the middle as well. And again, and this is exactly what happened. So remember the last time too, he was in a second, when we were in a 2nd and 2. Again, he was expecting me to go short. He jumped on a safety and left no help on his outside guy. And you know, he was he was basically leaving open a touchdown. But unfortunately, actually, so on my MUT team, I actually do not have 99 speed. But usually, when you have 99 speed versus 99 speed, uh, the guy is going to be, if they man press, the guy's going to be open for a touchdown. So I love to utilize these outside fades, these outside streaks on these shorter down situations, especially if you have the speed advantage or they're even, because they're going to win deep at man press. So I figured out after this that I actually do not have this the speed advantage here. I'm -1, so that's why I'm not going to get this completion here. But again, it's a good play call because again we expected him. We knew the situation. We knew that he thought we were going to go underneath because he knows that we just need a few yards. Uh, so we're not going to be predictable and just go short here because again everybody in the room is thinking he's going short. So that's why we're going to hit him over the top here in this situation. Again, just didn't work out because I didn't have the speed advantage. If I had the speed advantage here or even speed, again, this is most likely a touchdown or a 50-yard play or, big play here.
From Danny. Shout out.
All right, guys. In my next game here, I'm going to be going up against Danny, and again, we're going to be kind of studying these first couple of drives, kind of my thought process on these first couple of drives. And again, it's going to be the same thing as the last video, where again it's a feeling out process. We're looking to stay within our comfort zone. We're going to look We're going to look to run our best plays, our base plays, and see how he reacts to them. And again, keep running them until he kind of shows that he proves that he can stop them. So again, we're going to look to alternate between our 2 or 3 best plays here. And again, starting off this game, we start off with our best, probably one of our best plays, one of our base plays. And again, that's going to be, oops, I did not mean to do that. Again, we're going to be starting off with curl flat here. And the reason, again, why we're starting off with curl flat is, this tight end corner route here is usually really good versus man coverage. And again, I know Danny, from this look here, every DB is lined up over the receiver, and I know that he runs, mid blitz. So we're going to be looking to attack deep here with the tight end corner. I want to see how he reacts to it. I want to see if he's able to defend, this tight end corner deep. Because, again, the tight end corner gets a speed boost versus man. So I want to see how he would defend it. But, again, he has 1 step on that guy. So, again, that's not going to work. So, again, that's when we say, okay, scratch that play. Again, he's shown us that he can stop one of our best plays. Okay, next, again, let's go to one of our other best plays. Again, on these first drives, this is not the time to get cute. Again, you want to stick within your comfort zone, stick to your best plays, and again, see how he reacts to them. And if he shows you that he can be your best plays, that's when you switch it up. That's when you go to your next best play. Again, it's really all about learning too, kind of seeing what he's doing here on defense, and using that for future reference. This is just all collecting information on this drive, and so far what he's shown us is that he's willing to blitz and that he runs man across the board. So here in the second 18, again, I'm going to go, this is one of my best plays. I practiced this beforehand a lot. Again, I knew that this was going into this game, this was going to be my go-to play. Again, I go into more go-to plays and, what the why and, why this route combos are so good, and like more, again, the route combo development course and like even the beginner's manual. And I actually did a case study on this one in the route combo development course if you guys want to check that out. But again, for the purpose of this class, again, this is going to be one of my best base plays. And again, in these situations, in these first drives, in these second drives, again, I'm going to be looking to run this play, until he proves that he can stop it. Again, second and 18 here too. Another thing to keep in mind is everybody in defense is thinking, okay, I got to protect the first down marker. And again, it's really common in these second and 18s to forget about the underneath option. But again, this is the best time to attack underneath because the defense is thinking, oh man, he's gonna throw deep here. And again, they're going to kind of be willing to give up that underneath option, and this is a good time to kind of get half your yards back. Get to that 3rd and 9 by throwing like an underneath option. And again, as you're going to see, he leaves the underneath option to the right. But the reason why I didn't throw it is because I knew that if he went to the underneath option, again, I'm going to have this tight end crosser wide open. And again, this is going to be a really hard play for him to stop in this mid blitz. And again, this is why it's my go-to play. That's why it's my base play. Again, so you're going to see me go to this play a good bit because, again, it is one of my best plays, and he's going to have to show me that he's capable of stopping it. So again, right here we're going to go to our next best. So my best 2 plays were really the X spot and this S post. So again, Danny's a high-level player. He just saw that, I was in, or that I ran X spot here. So I'm gonna go to my next, best base play. I want to see how again, this first drive is all about collecting information. So I want to see how he reacts to my best 2 or 3 plays. So again, I'm gonna run the S post now. And Danny's been blitzing a decent bit so far. So again, that's why I'm gonna decide to max pro on this. And again, also too, the reason why I call this play is, again, I'm factoring in the situation. It's a 1st and 10 to 21. Again, a lot of people, again, it's starting to get close to the red zone. Everyone's more worried about the short parts of the field, the intermediate parts, and people kind of tend to forget about these deeper parts of the field here. And they tend to get a little bit more aggressive because, again, you are getting close to the red zone. They're not worried about deep. So, again, that's why I'm kind of taking a little bit of a shot here. This also happens to be one of my best base plays as well. So that is why I call this play here. So I'm going to motion Moss over on a streak because in case he shades down here, because again, a lot of people will tend to get aggressive here and motion over streak. If you snap it at the right time, it'll get a speed burst versus underneath coverage, and I can pop him over the top for a touchdown. And also, still we have this S post over the deep middle. Uh, that again I don't expect him to account for because again we're getting close to the red zone. A lot of people get aggressive and again forget about that deep shot. So again, this is a good time to take that deep shot. Again, he does blitz heavy again here. We max pro, but again didn't work out. Again, we did have the S post here though. Again, like I said, a lot of people get aggressive in these situations and they forget about the deep middle, the deep silence. So again, I knew that this was a good time to take a shot. And if I had a little bit more time, it would have worked out. But he was able to get the sack here. So again, I'm back in the 2nd and 17 situation. So again, I'm thinking when I get behind the change a little bit, again these second and 17 situations, I'm thinking try to get half your yards back. Again, this is a good time to throw your underneath routes. So again, 2nd and 17 here, he's blitzing me, and again we're gonna go to our quick little drag here because again he's shading up. So we're gonna try to throw to the drag here and get half our yards back again. Unfortunately for us, he swats it down. But again, notice here on these 2nd and 17s, I'm not trying to do anything too crazy. I'm not just trying to set up a deep bomb because I know I need to get more yards back. No, I know that as the defensive player is thinking, okay, I got to back off here. I don't just want to let him get the first down. Let him beat me over the top for the first down. A lot of people are willing to give up the underneath in this situation because again, put yourself in their shoes. If you're in defense in those 2nd and 17s, what do you not want to give up in those situations? So again, unfortunately, he swats it down, and again. I'm sticking. You're gonna see 2nd and 17. I went right back to one of my best base plays. Again, that's how I. Again, the only difference was I blocked my running back here, but again, I went right back to the play that got me in this position. That got me that 40-yard gain. I'm not just switching it up, for no reason. I'm sticking to my best 2 or 3 money plays on this first drive. I'm staying within my comfort zone, seeing if he can stop my best plays, and collecting that information for future reference. Again, don't just start randomly going from different play to different play to different play. You're going to see here I'm running, my best plays, on these first drives here. Again, 3rd and 17 again. I'm looking, again, I'm expecting him to guard, third and 17. As a defensive player, you're thinking to yourself, man, I really can't give this first down marker here. So again, a lot of people will zone drop, 20, 25-yard flats. They're looking to protect the deep middle. They're probably going to be shading up over the top coverage. So again, this is a good time to hit them with a little underneath route and maybe get some yards after the catch. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do here. You see, I'm still going to have underneath options here, even though I need 17 yards. Because again, you got to expect him to play. You got to expect the defense to play backed off here. Again, think from their perspective. Again, I'm still going to have those deep routes in case he does something stupid. But again, you still see I'm going to have these underneath options as well still. And again, just not able to get it off. But again, we possibly could have gone, if I caught the ball here. Again, it was only a 1v1 here. He got a little aggressive. So, I possibly could have, broken a tackle here and gotten a first down just from checking it down underneath. You never know. But again, though, that first drive was all about collecting information. And what I've been collecting so far is, again, this guy really likes to blitz a lot. And I even said this on the broadcast. He likes to blitz a lot. And again, it's a lot of man coverage so far. So, again, we're going to utilize that, on our, upcoming drives. Utilize that information. Again, so I'll get the ball back here in offense. I was able to lurk him. Again, we're gonna stick to the 2 or 3 best plays. Again, we know that he's blitzing a lot, so we might try to send out extra people here. And again, that's exactly what I do. So again, after this pass, first drive, again, Once we collect that information, we stay inside our comfort zone that first drive. You know, after I got 5 or 6 plays of intel on him, that's when I'm able to kind of adjust a little bit to it and say, okay, this guy really likes this a lot. And again, what this guy really liked a lot was blitzing 6 people. So again, what's a great way to attack someone blitzing 6? That's to send 5 out on a route, get the ball out, really quickly. Because when you're sending 6, you're not going to be able to guard the running back from man coverage. So again, I want to be sending out the running back on a flat here, and as well as having another quick option as well. So again, I'm kind of digging into my best man blitzing plays because he's shown me on that first drive that that's what he really likes to do. And there we go. See, and again, he's as we saw in the first drive, this guy really loves the man blitz. So again, and that's one of my best man blitz. One of my best plays versus the man blitz. Again, now 2nd and 3. Not a bad time to take a shot here, especially since he might be starting to get maybe a little bit desperate. Again, he's a lot of times people like to get aggressive here. They think I'm going short, or they think you just need a few yards. He's gonna go short. He's gonna go short. Again, not a bad time. Have a streak on the field in these situations. Have some sort of deep route out here in these situations. So, because again, a lot of people will kind of tend to get aggressive here. So again here, he's had a lot of trouble with X-Spot, and I think that's what I call here is X-Spot. And so yeah, I'm gonna go right back to my last play. Again, this is one of my best man blitz beaters right here. So I'm gonna go right back to it. Again, he's gonna have to prove to me that he can stop this because again, what he's shown us from that first drive and even from the second drive is he loves to man blitz. And I know that this is probably my best man blitz beater. So again, he's gonna have to prove to me that he can stop this. And again, we forced him to adjust here. So again, last time we sent 5 out. This time, we made him respect our running back. He started manning him up. So again, that's good though because it's gonna kind of get him to alleviate some of the pressure. Now he's worried about the threat of the running back. So again, now Danny's kind of adjusting. He's adjusting to one of our man blitz beaters. Again, he's shown me a lot of man blitz, but he's kind of adjusting out of it now. He's kind of reeling back the pressure, and this is the time where you kind of start switching up a little bit. And this is where the chess match comes in, and you say, okay, you want to drop your man back in the coverage, that's perfectly fine. This is a time where this is a situation where you can start mixing up a little bit more now that he's showing you more information, and that he's showing you that he is kind of capable of stopping. One of my better plays. So again, what I'm gonna do here is since I'm starting to get him to drop off some of the coverage, I'm only gonna block my running back now, and I'm still gonna go back to one of my best plays because again now he's been manning up my running back, so I'm gonna put him in blocking. Kind of help with the protection still, but again, kind of no point to send out my running back on a route if he's manning him up. So again, I'm going to go back to one of my best base plays again, just with the running back blocking. And again, he hasn't really shown me that he can really stop this X-Spot play. Again, this is how I popped him on the first drive with that big gain. So again, you'll see he manned up my running back again. So if I had sent my running back out on a route again, and he had sent 5, he probably would have got pressure here because he's sending 5 plus an engage, so it's really 6v5. So that's why I started to block my running back. He's shown me that he's capable of stopping one of my best 5-out man blitz beaters. So again, next, I block my running back, and I go back to one of my main base plays. Again, I'm not just sporadically going from different play to different play to different play. I'm utilizing a lot of my best plays on these first couple of drives, and seeing how he reacts to them and kind of adjusting off that. So again, we go right back to this. And I feel like we have, a yard of separation here. I passed it out into the outside, so I was kind of surprised this DB got here. I thought it was a good play. I feel like it was a little fluky because I did have the separation, so I think my guy might have been a little bit tired here, or no, he was not tired, but usually, again, that's one of my go-to plays because again, usually that's going to get pretty open versus the man coverage. Again, now we're going back to one of my, where we're switching to one of the other best base plays because I've been seeing it's a lot of man coverage, so and again this play is really good versus man coverage. Again, that's why it's one of my go-to plays. You're gonna see again. I've mainly ran 3 plays so far, and I'm kind of rotating between them because again these are my best plays. Again, he hasn't really shown that he's capable of stopping all three of my best plays in combination. So again, last time we ran this, he stopped it, but again, we had guys open. He didn't defend the play. He was able to get this. He was able to get pressure, but we had the dot there. So again, we're gonna go back to this. See if he can stop it this time. Again, here he's been man blitzing a lot. He hasn't been doing over the top help. And this out and up route that I ran, shot to Decroft, beats man coverage over the top. And again, this is just from me collecting information throughout the whole game. And again, it's just all I've seen is man coverage shade over, man coverage shade over, man coverage shade over. And he's mixing up blitzing 5 and 6. But and again, this is again one of my base plays versus defenses because it beats this route will beat man coverage over the top. So will the S ball. So again, that's why it's one of my best plays, and that's why you see me keep going back to it. Again, don't just switch it up for no reason. Again, it's fine to on these early drives, stick to 2 or 3 plays, and mix it up. See how they react to it, and then if they do react to them well, they're stopping your 2 or 3 best plays. Then you can kind of adjust off your base plays from there. But don't just switch it up for no reason. Again, that's a mistake a lot of players make, including myself at one point. So